Welcome to Detroit, an MWPL matchup between Inter Detroit and the Detroit Badgers live on the National Soccer Network. I'm Colton Wesley. Great Lakes Conference East Division clash. Badgers played their first game in this new league last night, lost 4-0 to Michigan Stars. Inter Detroit looking to bounce back from a 7th place finish in the division a season ago. Just a couple minutes away from kickoff here at Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights. The home ground for the Detroit Badgers, their home opener in this 2025 Midwest Premier League campaign. A successful indoor season for them concluded about a month ago. They jumped into play in MASL 3 and had some success despite jumping in mid-season as a replacement squad for Michigan Risers 2. And now here they are on their biggest stage yet in club history, a Midwest Premier League date with Inter Detroit in their home opener. Rainy weather in Detroit today, temperatures hovering in the mid-50s, and we expect rainfall pretty much throughout the entire contest. Inter Detroit will be moving left to right across your screen as we get this first half underway. They'll be in the all-red kits with Badgers wearing the white. Ryan Rowe, head coach for Inter Detroit, Joe Brincat for the Badgers. Brincat looking for his first win in 11-a-side top-flight soccer with this Badgers squad. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Once again, I'm Colton Wesley. You're watching this on the National Soccer Network. Working with limited rosters today, so going to do what we can for player identification, but please bear with us on that front. Today's game is brought to you in part by Olympian Mortgage and by Family Crown Dentistry. We'll hear more about them later on in the broadcast. Both teams looking for a strong start to their season. Badgers, their first ever win in the Midwest Premier League. Inter Detroit, only 8 points in their 14 matches a season ago. Looking to take that step up, be more competitive in this Great Lakes Conference East Division. Badgers in their home whites. As the rain falls here in Detroit, pleasantries at midfield. We'll see how long it stays pleasant as these two squads face off against each other for the very first time. Starting lineup for Inter Detroit. Janis in goal. Across the back line, Zimmerman, Garcia, Goki, and Skachilis. Gomez Ruiz, the captain, holding down the defensive midfield. Bovey and Akil in front of him with Castro, Hatzios, and Pineda. The front line in a 4-1-2-3 formation. Referee seems just about satisfied. You can see the umbrellas up over on the far sideline. Rain coming down hard and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. So both teams will have to navigate the conditions on the turf field at Star International Academy. Players getting their final stretches in. Referee does his final check with the far sideline. You're watching the Midwest Premier League on the National Soccer Network. Good to have you with us. I imagine some people are with us who would otherwise be there because of the conditions. Thank you for sharing part of your Sunday with us. The officials having a conversation with, I believe, Ryan Rowe over on the Inter Detroit sideline. Not sure what the delay is. We are 4 minutes beyond our scheduled kickoff time. Now the official wandering over to the Detroit bench on that far sideline. Well, now is as good as time. Now is as good of a time as any to remind you that today's game is brought to you in part by Olympian Mortgage. Olympian Mortgage wants to educate and prepare you for every stage of your mortgage journey. Having funded over $700 million in mortgages for clients across the United States, Olympian Mortgage will give you the confidence, comfort, and peace of mind that you're making the right choice with your mortgage. Call them at 800-574-1903 or go online to olympianmortgage.com. We are still delayed. Referees wandering up and down the far sideline, going from bench to bench. As we try to get some kind of answer here. Now it looks like we're going to get this one underway. Once again, Inter Detroit wearing all red, moving left to right across your screen. Detroit Badgers in the all white, and we are underway with Inter in possession to begin. Ball out into touch for Inter. First minute. First home game for the Detroit Badgers in this Midwest Premier League. Throw in down the near touchline. Settled in at the feet of Akil. Working into the middle, Gomez Ruiz. All the way across to Zimmerman. Plays down the line. Trying to drive it down that far wing. We have a whistle and a foul. Free kick incoming for Inter Detroit. And they'll swing it into the back, Garcia. Goki outside. To Skachillis down the line looking for Pineda. Settles it back into Akil. Splits the defense. Nice work on the outside. Sets it up for Pineda. Pineda tries to get the cross in, and it's blocked out for a corner kick. First corner of the match will go to Inter Detroit. We saw this similar kind of pressure yesterday for the Badgers against Michigan Stars. Stars pushed early, created some early opportunities in the first couple minutes, couldn't find the back of the net. Wasn't until the 46th minute that the Stars scored their first goal. That short corner is headed clear. And Inter will try to build once again. Swinging in the cross, it's blocked. Back into Akil. Working outside, Akil again. Tries to drive this one across to the back post. Settled in and cleared. Stepping up to it, Gomez Ruiz. But he's dispossessed, and they'll work it back into the back once more. Early control for Inter Detroit here in the third minute. No score. Skachillis. Outside, Zimmerman. Down the wing, Bovee. On to Castro. Cuts it inside. Tries the diagonal ball. It's intercepted in the back and cleared away, but picked off coming the other way. Zimmerman. Dispossessed. And now the Badgers have it on the far side. Battle for possession out there and a whistle. Free kick for the Badgers. We've entered the 4th minute, no score between Badgers and Inter Detroit. So that free kick is just sent down the line and out of play. Throw in for Inter. Trying to possess on that far sideline. Now they'll work it into the middle. Try to swing it around. Skachilis has the beating of the defender on the outside. Tries to work it into the middle. Taken away. Down the line and out for a throw. Down the line. Ball knocked up in the air in the middle. Trying to settle on it as Gomez Ruiz. It's lost and cleared. Attacker giving chase for the Badgers, but turning on it and spinning away is Zimmerman. Hoofs that one clear down the line. Castro gives chase. Out to it is the goalkeeper, Nelvis Da. Trying to look for feet. That one's touched into the middle. Now here come the Badgers on the outside. They'll work it back into the defense. And up to the near side, Derek Trinkline. Back into the back line once more. Diego Izaguirre. Close control on the near touchline. Flicked into the middle. Badgers still on it, working it all the way into the corner. I believe that's Ali Zaidan trying to get it in across. It's headed clear. Inter out on a run now through the midfield. Carrying it himself. I believe this is Gomez Ruiz. Gomez Ruiz is dispossessed. Turned over, coming the other way. Neuse gave it away. Badgers try to win it back. Ball touched out. Throw in to Inter. Back to Skachilis. They'll work it around the back to Zimmerman on the far side. Ball a bit long for Castro, and it rolls out for a Detroit throw. 7th minute now, no score. Working back into the defense. Badgers will swing it around to the near side, trying to work down the line. It rolls out for a throw. Inter Detroit with all the pressure so far. Had the majority of the possession. Had a lot of possession in the Badgers' half of the field. Looking to build again. Deep ball down the middle, headed clear. Ball through the middle from Inter, all the way into Da, who claims it. Badgers trying to work the ball out of the back. Working back into the keeper, and oh no, they put it in their own net. Oh no. Oh no, mishandled. A simple ball back to the keeper goes horribly, horribly wrong. The absolute worst possible way to concede. There's no sugarcoating it. That's one of the clumsiest own goals you'll ever see. What was a difficult start for the Badgers, now teetering on disastrous. It's a mental game now for them. The next few minutes will potentially tell the tale whether or not Badgers will be able to stay in this, because that is a shocking goal to give away. No pressure on the keeper. A simple ball back to him just went right through him and into the net. I can't imagine the kind of things that are being said on that Badgers touchline right now as Inter working their way through again. Maybe another chance. That one's blocked. Daw coming out to it to make the stop. It's out for a corner. Trying to redeem himself. Second corner of the match for Inter Detroit. Going to be swung in from the near corner. Instead, they'll play it in short. Swinging cross to the back post, headed over the bar. A really, really nice ball in. Met well at the back post. Just couldn't keep it down. Badgers going to have to get their heads on straight. They've given away a couple of good chances here in the aftermath of that own goal. And now here are Inter building again. Hatsios trips up the Badgers defender. Gives away the free kick. They'll play it short out of the back. That's a good through ball down the line into feet. And here they come. Grounded ball across at the top of the box. Coming in on it is, I believe, Jop who fires. And that's high and wide. But a good look from Detroit Badgers for the first time today. And maybe that is how you build something. An excellent ball forward from the back to set up the grounded cross. Defenders headed back towards their own goal. The grounded cross behind their backs forces them to stop and turn around, allows the runner to come up and make a play on it. The shot was wide, but a good passage of play from the Detroit Badgers there. As that ball rolls out for a throw in an advanced position for Inter Detroit. We've played 11 minutes. The own goal, the only difference on the scoreboard. Although Inter Detroit have certainly had the better opportunities so far. Going to try to head it down. Now on to Pineda, and they're offside. Free kick for Detroit. And they'll just send it on its way, head it out for a throw. So Badgers will at least gain some field position with that. Luis Alyasari. Throw in down the line. In the middle, nice little spinning move. I think that's Aguirre who's able to keep it. Working up towards the box, tries to cut it back. Lots of traffic. He gets knocked down. They're going to say he was the guilty party. And a free kick for Inter Detroit. Ball on the outside. As Inter will look to set something up. Lofted ball down the wing. Defender gets to it. Badgers in possession in the midfield, working back to their own back line under heavy pressure. Inter Detroit trying to win the ball in the attacking half. Ball over the top. And no flag for offside despite the appeals from Badgers, but backline able to get back to it. Still haven't gotten it away, though. Over to Da under pressure. Again, high defensive line from Inter Detroit with the attackers getting all the way into the grills of these Detroit Badgers defenders, not giving them an inch of space or a moment of peace. Badgers will try to work this with some short play on the far side, rolls out for a throw. And a quick foul will give Inter Detroit another free kick. Skachilis tries to play down the line, and it looks like it struck an arm, maybe. Or it might just be a throw-in. Different indications from different figures. In any case, Badgers ball. Given away once again. We've played a quarter hour. Inter Detroit 1, Detroit Badgers 0. All the way back to Da. Down the line. Poked out into touch by Inter Detroit. Battle for possession on that far sideline and a foul. Referee's calling it tight so far. Been a fair number of whistles for the first 15 minutes. Inter will swing it across, trying to work in combination. Pineda worked into the middle. Gomez Ruiz stepping into the space, tries to skip through some defenders and has to give it back. Ball over the top, right into the feet of the defense. Given away, and a quick strike! That's wide. Opportunistic, to say the least, 30 yards out. Off the giveaway. Not terribly wide, that. Definitely seen worse. Badgers seem insistent on playing short out of the back. They'll pick up the free kick that time. Trying to get it in quickly, but again, that high defensive pressure from Inter Detroit. They've won another chance. That one is blocked by Da. The putback. 2-0. Badgers are insisting on playing the short ball out of the back, and Inter Detroit is just pouncing on any mistake they make. 2-0 to the visitors. And by body language alone, Badgers looking a bit lost. Well, let's see if they can dust themselves off here. Still a lot to play in this one. Plenty of time for them to turn it around. And they haven't been inept offensively necessarily. They've had some chances, had some possession, haven't been able to do anything with it, and a yellow card issued for that tackle. I believe that was Diego Izaguirre who was the guilty party. Important not to do anything stupid. Down 2-0 under frustrating circumstances, but still got to keep your wits about you. Ball down the line into the space. Defenders there and beats Castro to the ball. Trying to play down the line, it rolls out for a throw. It's been all Inter. (2-0) in the first 18 minutes. A hideous own goal got things started. And then a putback after an initial save following a takeaway in the attacking third. Inter Detroit smell blood in the water. They've kept this defensive pressure. They've kept this formation, this high line. They're going to win the ball again on the edge of the box. That one's sent in and blocked, and I think they're going to say it struck him on the arm. So a free kick for Detroit. But Inter making things very difficult for the Badgers' backline, just not giving them any room to breathe. They think they can exploit a weakness. So far, they've been able to. That one flicked outside to Castro, taken away by the defender. Cleared down the line. Zimmerman gives chase, sends it back to Janis, who we haven't called his name very much, haven't had to. Badgers yet to put a ball on frame here as we've played almost 20 minutes. Diagonal ball in. Trying to lead Hatsios into the space, but Nda gets there first. Rolls it out to his help. Down the line, headed back into play. Good work by Akil. Excuse me, that was Skochilis. Get ahead on that. Rain continues to come down in Detroit. We expect it to continue throughout the contest. Badgers will make their first changes. I believe that's Bailly Morgay checking in for them. Proved to be a good goal scorer for them in the indoor season. Maybe he can provide some spark for them in the 11-a-side variety. Tough ball on from Zimmerman into the path of Castro. Castro tries to hustle it down to the goal line. Ball in, and whistle had blown for a goal kick, and they're going to get it out quickly. Didn't even wait for the box to clear, did Da. Trying to get the Badgers' attack moving. Down the line. Out for another throw. Al Yassari. Into the feet of Gay. And he couldn't keep it. It rolls out for a throw to Inter Detroit. Playing the ball short. Inter trying to work in the compressed space on the near touchline. They'll eventually work it all the way back into Janis, who just sends it out. We've played half of the first half. Inter Detroit 2, Detroit Badgers 0. I want to thank you for joining us here on the National Soccer Network. First home game for Detroit Badgers in Midwest Premier League play, and here's another chance for Inter Detroit trying to chip Da. It's wide. And they can't believe it. Believe that is Hatsios on the attempt. Might have been Castro. Da coming way out of his box, which is not unexpected if you know him. Did the same thing in the indoor season, to the joy of some and the chagrin of others. But the danger, of course, of being an aggressive keeper is that you can get chipped from distance, and Castro almost had the beating of him. Almost made it 3-0. Turnover on the goal kick, trying to swing it into the box. Turned aside, Alex Brinkat, he's dispossessed. Able to get back on it, trying to spin out, but there's too much pressure, and Inter Detroit will win the ball back. In the middle, that's a nice turn there from Hatsios to free himself. The shot, it's blocked. Excuse me, that's Pineda, rather. Pineda picks it back up near the goal line. Tries to center it. Settled. Struck. Blocked. Daw with the stop. All the way outside, Castro tries to get it back into the middle, and Daw will fall on it gratefully. Good little spell from him. A huge save. Trying to keep this thing close. All the way into the box. Scooped up by Janis. Rolls it out to Garcia. Long ball ahead to Zimmerman, playing those high wings into Detroit, and that's allowed those attacking wingers to just stay up. You see the 3 flat across the attacking line. That ball over the top, Castro giving chase. Da comes out to it, puts it on his left foot, skips past the defender. Dangerous stuff, but gets away with it. Brinkat splits the defense. Touched outside. This is Gay. He'll stop and spin. Trying to shield off the defender, waiting for the support. And a whistle goes. A lot of contact between him and Akil. It'll be a free kick for Detroit Badgers. Yassari. And he just puts that out for a throw. Almost didn't seem to know where the line was. Tried to pass to Brinkat, who was standing from where I sit. Looked like he was just standing out of bounds. Trying to lift that one on into the path of Castro. It's well long and out for a throw. Badgers will try to at least stabilize here. They've played better the last handful of minutes, but still no great opportunities. They had the one shot that went wide off the nice cross in, but that has been it for them so far. Heavy coming together, and the referee will penalize Inter for it, and a yellow card has been held up. I believe that is Garcia who has been booked. Referee not being shy about the cards in this first half. A lot of referees will almost take it a little bit easy in the first half of an early season game. But not this guy. Has been liberally blowing his whistle, and there's another coming together. Referee gives another free kick. Inter will get it in quickly. Pass through the middle was offline, but still collected by Pineda. Got an overlapping runner on his right. Cuts it back in, has some space. Back into the middle, Bovey. Outside, Castro. Back into Zimmerman. He's going to swing it in with the left for the back post, and Da gets there first. Sends that one happily on its way. Alex Brinkat Inter back on it. They'll play it along the far side, working into the middle. Da comes out and grabs it at the edge of his box. Inter Detroit want to spring quickly when they win possession. In the early part of the game, they were content to work the ball around, maybe create a chance more slowly, but now that they feel comfortable, they're trying to work the ball quickly outside to Pineda. Pineda trying to create some space for the cross. Works it back to Skochilas, who swings it all the way across. I don't think that he was on the same page with Zimmerman, the other wingback, and they're those wingbacks again, right? They're sending them forward, getting them involved in the attack, trying to make those guys the ones who are swinging the ball in, leaving those attacking wingers more as targets than as a traditional attacking winger. Trying to work it into a target man. Change on for the Badgers. Inter Detroit have not gone to their bench yet. Throw in one by Inter. Under heavy pressure. Taken away by Detroit, but a whistle. Referee calling it both ways, but he's definitely calling it close. We approach the half-hour mark, 2-0 to Inter. Free kick, about 20 yards from the end line. Looks like 2 in the wall for Detroit. Swung in for the far post. Knocked up in the air and cleared away by the Badgers. Inter will try to work it through the middle, ball bounding around in the air. And a heavy challenge from behind. No whistle this time. Referee going to let it go. As the Badgers try to work it down the far wing. Another big coming together. Referee doesn't blow that one either. Inter back in possession. Playing short in the middle, taken away by the Badgers. That's a nice move between some defenders and a foul on the end of it. Now we have an Inter Detroit player down. Our first substitutions for Inter. Getting ready to check in. 3 of them, in fact. Only so much we can do in terms of identification today, but we'll do what we can when we get the opportunity. Ball knocked up in the air. Both teams trying to get it back onto the surface. And the Badgers are impeded. They'll get a free kick. Maybe they can do something with this. I believe this will be Alex Brincat who takes it. A little over 40 yards from the goal line. It will not be Brincat who takes it. Lots of numbers up for the Badgers. Swung in towards the back post, trying to settle it into the top, and it's cleared away in a whistle. Badgers can't get out of their own way. They catch a break and immediately give it right back to Inter Detroit. Janis sends his guys deep and thumps the ball after them. settled in the midfield. Ball on the outside. I believe this is Castro, and he's offside. About a dozen or so minutes left. Won't be too much stoppage time, at least as of yet. But I imagine that the Badgers will be happy to get to halftime as soon as possible. It's been a frustrating, wet first half for the home side in their first home match in Midwest Premier League play. Ball in over the top. Pineda tries to settle it, but it's taken away from him. Worked back to the keeper under pressure. Handles it maybe a bit too long, able to get it to a defender, and they'll get it clear. Another clearance. Headed back in by Goki to Janis, who gives him a little fist bump, shows his appreciation. Probably just thanking him for giving him a ball that he can actually do something with. He's not been tested today. It's only probably the second or third time he's held the ball in his gloves. Long ball down the far wing. Castro touches it on. Keeper comes way out of his box. Castro tries to get the cross in. Defender there to intercept it. Dow, extremely aggressive that time. Ball intercepted in the midfield. Lots of space. Fires wide. But I want to go back to the previous move. Nelvis Da comes way out of his box and almost gives away the game by getting beat on the dribble a full 30 yards from home. Defender back there to recover for him. The secondary effort was well wide, so ultimately no harm, no foul, but the aggression from the Badgers keeper after having already committed a most egregious own goal earlier in this one. I don't know how the rest of his teammates or his coaches will feel about some of those decisions. And that's going to be a foul, perhaps? I think so. By Morgay, the guilty party. Final 9 minutes or so of the first half. Cleared away by the Badgers. I think it's Alex Brincat is able to get up to it. Lots of hand fighting between him and Skochilas. Ball will eventually come to a stop. Looks like a corner coming up for the Badgers. If I'm not mistaken, it's their first corner of the match. Maybe something here for the Detroit Badgers as we approach the end of the first half. No, it will be a free kick. And Gay's over to swing this in with the left. About 20, 25 yards from the end line, near the touchline on the near side. Got 6 white shirts in the middle, ready to make their runs. Ball swung in, and that's not a great cross. Headed out. Ball didn't go deep enough into the box, wasn't high enough. And the Badgers will squander the chance. They'll try to pick the ball up on the outside. Trying to work it down the flank, cut it back into the middle. Maybe something here. Dancing around the shot. Oh, it's just over. Looks like the defender got a little piece of it, just enough for the corner. Looked like the chance had been well and truly missed for the Badgers after the free kick, but they're able to recover and win themselves a second corner. Swung in from the far post. That much better. And it's headed down and saved by Janis, but a much better cross in. Someone finally gets ahead on goal. At least forces Janis to make a play, but now here come Inter Detroit. Grounded cross. Defender blocks it. And Da will pounce on it. Inter Detroit trying to take advantage of the change in shape, the more aggressive shape for the Badgers off of the corner kick, and they almost got something out of it. Here come the Badgers on the near side. That one's flicked on, looking to try to get it into the space in front of Alex Brinkat, but it's behind him and out for a throw. Throw in coming up for Inter Detroit. Down the line, headed on. Badgers put it back into the middle. And Inter Detroit will try to settle on it. Ball into the middle. Hatsios leaves it on for Castro. A little bit too much on it, and it rolls out for a goal kick. From the goal kick, they try once again to play it short. Swing it around to the near sideline, but it rolls out for a goal. Rolls out for a throw in. Not been particularly crisp from Detroit. Detroit Badgers, I should clarify. Inter Detroit have looked the part of the 2-0 advantage. As halftime approaches, that ball high and deep and nowhere near anybody except for Nelvesta. Punts it out. Big coming together. And sent back away by Inter Detroit. A trip and a foul. Khaled Souza will take this free kick. Tries to send it in deep. It's headed on. And out to deal with it is Janis. Just a few minutes left in the first half. Inter Detroit leading 2-0. Their season opener. Badgers trying to recover from a 4-0 defeat yesterday. High defensive line for Badgers, but that leaves a lot of opportunity for the Inter Detroit front line. If that ball wasn't right into Da, who was coming out to deal with it, would have been a point-blank opportunity for Inter once again. Badgers trying to counter, but it goes out for another throw. Foul given, and the referee doesn't like it. Looked like he might have been thinking about a booking, but decides against it. Just a couple minutes left in the first half. Inter possessing in the midfield. Diagonal ball ahead, trying to spring in behind the flat defensive line for the Badgers. Inter back on it. On the outside, long ball ahead, but you can see the Badgers back four playing flat, stepping up, playing high, maybe trying to deny some of the space that Inter Detroit have exposed, but Inter playing as high up as they can and basically daring the Badgers to win a foot race for a ball over the top. Foul given in the center circle, maybe one more push here for the Badgers before the break. Free kick swung in, headed outside. Bringcat tries to poke it up into the air, and Janis will claim it near his goal line. Final minute of regular time in the first half. Ball sent through the space. Bit of a clumsy ball to his defense, and that's another clumsy ball given away to Inter Detroit, and that through ball attempt was also clumsy. Inter now with it on the outside, trying to cross it in. Grounded cross. Poked clear to the top of the box. And here come the Badgers. Inter have it in their own back line, and the Badgers attacker coming back into the play is nowhere near a good challenge there. And he's the player who was warned earlier. Referee was clearly thinking about a booking for his last infraction. No choice but to give it there. Second yellow card on Detroit as we enter stoppage time. That one's floated on over the head of Da and out. So they've not informed us how much stoppage time there will be. Can't imagine there will be much, maybe a minute or two. Badgers trying to work the ball down the wing, and it's stolen away, coming the other way, Castro. Castro into the middle. Working in combination with Hatsios, leaves it off the shot! And it's wide from Akil. Out for a goal kick. And there seems to be some confusion about the clock within the facility. The clock was stopped at the 45-minute mark when it shouldn't have been. So the clock not showing as how much time has truly elapsed, but referee will have the official time on his watch. This very well might be the last kick of the half. Again, probably not much stoppage time here at the end of the first 45 minutes, and that, in fact, will be the final kick of the first half. Inter Detroit 2, Detroit Badgers 0. A lot to work on for the home side as they trail going into the break. Family Crown Dentistry offers a complete dental care in Dearborn. A family-owned office that cares about their patients. Family Crown Dentistry has specialists to meet your needs and accepts walk-in and emergency dental care. Put your best smile forward by calling Family Crown Dentistry 313-581-7979 or go to familycrowndentistry.com. It's halftime here in Detroit. Inter Detroit leading Detroit Badgers 2-0. We'll take a break and come back. You're watching MWPL Season Opening Weekend Soccer on the National Soccer Network.
Sacker down by the end line. Pushes across. Lose your eye! And just like that, 1-1. Now Elders may look to take a shot. He does, and he buries it! Steps up, and just like that, Reed Dennis comes up big. Lose your eye, one-on-one. Lose your eye. Oh, he'll be taken down inside the box.
Knocked back in. Nationals got it. Bicycle kick for a goal!
Now Sacker. Sacker into the 18. Sacker shot. That goes off the goalkeeper's glove into the net. 2-1 here in the 32nd. This one played in. That's a good ball, and that one goes in. And just like that, the Nationals now have a 1-0 lead. Walensky puts his far post. One-touch opportunity. And what a great goal that was.
Joaquin Beatty of the Ohio League.
Look at that shot from Sevy Roy. My goodness, Sevy Roy with a left-footed banger.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it. termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Restoration is more than walls. It's more than paint. It's more than cleaning. That's the thing we'll never forget. For Belfour, it's your memories. It's your life's passion. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
In our online world, we have access to endless communication channels. But despite our online connections, one dynamic will always separate the value in a phone call from an email, and that's relationship. Growing businesses and customer relationships live and die by the phone system, and an enterprise phone solution is the key to bridging the communication gap between you and your customers. At Spectrum VoIP, we exist to make sure your communication is seamless, consistent, and reliable. With simple pricing and reliable support, we dramatically reduce your telecommunication expenses. We come to you to install, train, and onboard your team, and our 24/7 support team is always available to help. Our interactive web portal has endless features that include the real-time data you need, the ability to record, download, and re-listen to phone calls, and sending SMS text messages straight from your computer. And the best part is that all of this is available in the palm of your hand. Since reliability is one of your top priorities, we make it one of ours. So what makes us different? We don't just connect your phones. We power your connection with your customers, your team, and your next level as a business.
down by the end line. Pushes across. Loser eye! And just like that, 1-1. Now Elders may look to take a shot. He does, and he buries it! Steps up, and just like that, Reed Dennis comes up big. Loser eye, 1-on-1. Loser eye, oh, he'll be taken down inside the box.
Knocks back in. Nationals got it. Bicycle kick for a goal!
Now Sacker. Sacker into the 18. Sacker shot. That goes off the goalkeeper's glove into the net. 2-1 here in the 32nd. This one played in. That's a good ball. And that one goes in. And just like that, the Nationals now have a 1-0 lead. Walensky puts his far post. One-touch opportunity. And what a great goal that was.
Joaquin Beatty of Ohio League.
Look at that shot from Sevy Roy. My goodness, Sevy Roy with a left-footed banger.
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Detroit. We are just a couple minutes away from the resumption of action between Detroit Badgers and Inter Detroit. I'm Colton Wesley. You're watching on National Soccer Network. 2-0 at the break. Inter Detroit in front. Rain continues to pour. Teams have switched sides, and hopefully, from the Badgers' perspective, they will switch luck as well. The first half was pretty much all Inter Detroit, and it got started early, less than 10 minutes in. Pretty inauspicious to call it own goal. And then a few minutes later, Inter would add a second. So 2-0 to the visitors as we get the second half underway. I believe we have our audio issues from the field sorted out, so you should be able to actually hear some of the action on the field here in this second 45 minutes. We have an updated score for you in other action today in the Midwest Premier League. Green Bay Glory, 1-0 victory over Zarni Jaslo Chicago. So some more Great Lakes Conference action this first weekend of the Midwest Premier League season. Detroit Badgers, the only side with 2 matches this first weekend in the league. They conceded 6 and scored none in their first 135 minutes, looking for some improvement here in this second half. Inter Detroit moving right to left across your screen. Detroit Badgers in white. And a foul given. You can hear the rain falling. And as the afternoon gives way to evening, temperatures are going to drop as well. Which will certainly make things more difficult.
I told him it was just, what's it called? I told him
Inter will try to play down the line.
should I change it? No.
Off the free kick, now working into the middle, now outside. In possession, in control here as we get the second half going. Cross in from the far side, headed up and over. A good early look from Inter Detroit as they try to establish themselves once again here in this second half. Oh, nice little close control in the middle there. I believe that's Bovey. Might have been Gomez Ruiz making a nice piece, or showing a nice piece of skill there to keep possession. They'll work it down the wing and offside. '48th minute, Inter 2, Badgers 0. Ball thumped through the midfield and settled in the attack. Foul given, free kick to Detroit Badgers. Inter Detroit controlling in the back. Just trying to maintain control here, not give the Badgers an opportunity. It's a bit old hat to say, but a 2-0 lead is said to be the most dangerous lead in this game. Especially when you're probably feeling pretty confident, as Inter Detroit likely are, and that's a foul. Long whistle from the referee, didn't like that at all. And now he's going to have a little conversation with, I believe that is Goki. So a free kick for Detroit. If the football field lines are to be believed, about 47 yards from the end line. Sent in deep. Headed out at the 18. Badgers will try to head it back in. Loose ball at the top of the box. And Inter will come away with it and send it away. Giving chase over the top, Hatzios, and that one's cleared away. And out for a throw-in. Played the first 5 minutes of the second half. Inter 2, Badgers 0. Throw-in is cleared away by Detroit. RWB Adria Chicago and Chicago House AC have kicked off. They'll be approaching halftime in their Midwest Premier League tie. Pretty limited action here in this first weekend of action. A lot of it focused in the Great Lakes Conference. Dog just biffs that punt. Picked up by Inter. Long ball in through, and the shot, it's wide. Hatsios had an open look at this. Just a horrible punt out from Da. Intercepted by Bovey. A good through ball in, and Hatsios just puts it wide. And Elvis Da holding his arms wide as if to ask his defenders for assistance, but I don't know, man. Seems like that was mostly on the keeper. And that is going to be walked back into the keeper. A wild swing and miss from, I believe that was Garcia. I don't know if that was a intentional feint or if it was actually an attempt to clear the ball out that just horribly missed. But in any case, it ends up in the hands of Janis. Slipping on the wet turf. Ball intercepted by the Badgers. And now we have a Inter Detroit player down. As the ball rolls out for a throw. Ali Zaiden will take this throw. Tries to find feet with it. Back to Zaiden. Cross is blocked into the corner. A tussle for possession in the corner. And it rolls out. It will be Inter Detroit's ball. Quick throw in. And no one there to defend the short throw despite the compressed space. That's a bit of a mental lapse there from the Badgers. Might have had an opportunity to try to win the ball back. Now they'll try to re-up that pressure. They do win the ball on the near side of the box and cleared away by Inter. Ball touched outside, sent along the wing. Badgers continue to work down the wing. Zaiden into the middle. Spinning away, that's a ball in across, and there's no one running onto it. I believe that's Aguirre. I think he thought that Jop was going to be making that run on the far side, and a clumsy foul given away as they tried to win the ball back. So now the clock at Star International Academy is counting down. It was counting up in the first half, which is obviously standard operating procedure for most professional, semi-professional soccer leagues throughout the world, but now it's counting down more in the American high school and college tradition, so maybe someone had a talk with someone about how the second half is going to be timed. Ball lost in the midfield by Inter. That's a nice little bit of link-up play on the outside. Looking for a cross in to the back post. Maybe jump ball, and it's claimed by Janis. Pretty good look here from Detroit Badgers. Could have done a lot worse. A surging ball to the back post. Janis goes up to claim it. Maybe hung in the air a bit long, but all in all, as good of a chance as the Badgers have had. But now here come Inter, pushing in the other direction. Hatsios, and the keeper comes out to deal with it. That's the benefit of the aggression that Nelvestad plays with, is he can serve as that extra defender, come out, and supply the support needed. If he can keep that instinct in check, it can be a boon for his back line. Grounded ball in across. Oh, it's going to meet the attacker, and he missed it. Da came out to it, but I think he hesitated for a brief moment, and it allowed Castro to get to the ball. Da made himself big, and it looks like he got a touch on it, because referees indicated a corner for Inter Detroit. But Castro made a nice run in after it and almost turned that into something. It will at least be a corner. 57th minute. Inter Detroit 2, Detroit Badgers 0. Grounded corner outside the top of the box. That ball swung away outside, and to be honest, I don't really know who the target was. Looked like it might have been deflected, but the referee doesn't seem to think it was. So a missed opportunity there for Inter. It's kind of been half and half with their corners. Sometimes they like to play the grounded ball to try to set something up. Other times they just swing it in. Battle for possession on the far touchline. And a good step there from the defender to win it back for Badgers. Nice little turn on it in the midfield. I believe that's Brincat trying to leave it off, or excuse me, lay it on into the space. Second ball into space. Attacker runs onto it. Defender there to force it off of him, and it rolls out for a goal kick. No, excuse me, it rolls out for a corner. Third corner of the match for Detroit. For what it's worth, Inter have had 4. Deep ball to the top of the box is headed away. Not the best corner. A turn down the wing. Trying to work into some space down near the corner, and it's touched out for a throw-in. Maybe a chance for a long throw here from the Badgers. As they try to get something going. They trail 2-0 as we approach the hour mark on a rainy, chilly day in southeast Michigan. That throw is immediately intercepted, and now something here for Inter. A lot of numbers up for the Badgers. Ball on the outside, giving chase to it, and Da comes all the way out. Da lost his footing, lost his shoe, and the clearance is made. Da literally stepped out of his shoe. And that's a situation where the keeper, if he's going to come out and deal with that, he's got to get the ball off his foot. Not get his shoe off his foot. It's not necessarily the reasoning why you want to get rid of the ball quickly as a goalkeeper, but in conditions like these, it's just another added reason. Looks like Dawes getting some assistance with his shoe, tying your shoes while wearing goalkeeper gloves as a challenge fit for a more dexterous person than I, for sure. So Nelvis Da getting some assistance here as we approach a half hour to play. Second half feels very much like the first. More chances for Inter Detroit than Detroit Badgers, even though Badgers don't look entirely outplayed by any means. It's just been sloppier from them. It's been more bad decisions, been less crisp. Today's game is brought to you in part by Olympian Mortgage. Olympian Mortgage wants to educate and prepare you for every stage of your mortgage journey. Having funded over $700 million in mortgages for clients across the United States, Olympian Mortgage will give you the confidence, comfort, and peace of mind that you're making the right choice with your mortgage. Call them at 800-574-1903 or check them out at olympianmortgage.com. Again, 800-574-1903 or olympianmortgage.com. Inter Detroit working it into the far corner, swinging that cross back in towards the top of the box. Goes all the way to the near touchline. Trying to dig it out and get it back in across. That ball in is intercepted. That clearance is intercepted. I believe this is Bovey. Tussle for possession in that corner. They're going to work it back into the midfield. Into the middle now. Gomez Ruiz. He's bumped hard as he tries to get that ball in. Good strong tackle. Doesn't change possession, but it does deny the entry pass at least. They work it outside and try to work it in that way. The cross is blocked, with the ball turned back over. Inter Detroit looking so comfortable with the ball on the ground. These crisp grounded passes from feet to feet to create opportunities. That's a deep cross in, and oh my goodness, Nelvis Da was running back towards his own goal as he tried to swat at that, and shades of what happened in the first 10 minutes. But fortunately for him and the Badgers, the ball will float more or less harmlessly out of play. It will be Inter Detroit's ball. No one can deny Nelvis Da's athleticism or his willingness to make difficult plays. But the knock on him has always been that he doesn't always make the best decisions in the crucial moments, and today has been a display of some of the best and worst of Nelvis Da. His very high potential, but also his capacity for tragic mistakes. And that's frankly not a knock on Nelvis. He's very likable. There's a reason that they put him in at goalkeeper. He is extremely talented. He's young enough that he still has technique to develop and situational awareness to learn. But in the Midwest Premier League, those mistakes have to be few and far between if you want to win games. And one mistake in particular today is going to loom large in the story of this game, unless the Badgers can pull off something pretty impressive here in this final half hour, as it looks like Gay is checking back in. The 64th minute, and Alex Brincat is surrendering the captain's armband. As he has a seat. No one even sitting on the Inter Detroit bench. Everyone's huddled under their umbrellas over on that bench. Free kick won by the men in the pink shirts. Ball cleared on. Trying to play in combination on the near touchline. Worked into the middle, spinning out of traffic, but taken away and cleared. And offside. Did not anticipate a ball would be coming in, and he was in offside position when the ball was kicked forward. Inter Detroit trying to push quickly. Drawing the double team is Castro, and a heavy coming together. And I think Castro might get booked. Castro pulled the defender down with him as he ran by him, and I believe that the referee has in fact awarded Castro a yellow. If so, that would be the second yellow card given to Inter Detroit. But a much less exciting second half than first half. Not as many chances for either side, and the wet and the cold likely contributing to that, but here may be something for Detroit. That's a great sliding challenge. Badgers trying to get back on this ball as the attacker slips and falls. I believe that was Gomez Ruiz who hit the deck, and they're going to get the ball in quickly off this free kick. Swung out to the far side, going to try to swing in the cross, headed up in the air. Headed back in towards goal by Akil and claimed by Da. 25 minutes of regular time remaining. Ball in is blocked and taken away by the Badgers. Here they come down the near sideline. Trying to keep it through the pressure in the congested space. Gay tries to slot the ball through the defense, taken away by Inter Detroit. Gay gets back on it and puts it out for a throw. Badgers kept it 0-0 yesterday against Michigan Stars until almost halftime. They conceded in stoppage time at the end of the first. But that opened the floodgates as the Stars rolled to a 4-0 win in their season opener. Badgers were hoping to undo the damage with 3 points today, but they have not really looked the part. Not too many opportunities, and some truly bad mistakes have cost them dearly. And now they're really under it here as we reach the 67th minute. Inter Detroit nursing a deserved 2-0 advantage. Thumped ahead down the wing. Castro trying to get on it. Defender comes up and clears it away. The Badgers struggling with the things that you would expect a new team in a more difficult league to struggle with, right? They haven't been as technical. They haven't been as precise. And here comes the cross in from the far side, looking for the back post, headed on, and right into the chest of Da. Positioned himself well at his back post and made that save very easy for himself. But this is that difference in quality here you see for Inter Detroit. They play those good grounded balls ahead into space to create opportunities for guys to swing balls in, to attackers in the middle who can get up and get ahead to it, get a foot on it, create an opportunity. But all those pieces have to come together for a successful attack, and while Inter Detroit have had several of those chances, Badgers haven't been able to put all the pieces together with any consistency. And that's why they've only had one, maybe two, depending on how you want to count them, actual shots on frame in these first 69 minutes. Ball out for a throw, maybe something here for the Badgers. This is where you'd like to see a long throw. It looks like they are prepared to try one. Here it is. Throw in. Touched outside the box. Gay. Back into the defense. And outside and behind everyone and out for a throw. And again, there's that technique gap. The long throw wasn't quite long enough. The follow-up play wasn't as precise as it needed to be. The ball rolls out. Given away to Inter Detroit. There's a diagonal ball ahead into space. Falls right into the feet of Pineda. Pineda dribbles right past the defender. Pineda tries to get across it, and a good stop from Da. Showing off that athleticism. Making a diving stop to deny the opportunity. Read it well, too. Most keepers would try to protect their near post in that situation, try to block the shot. But Da saw the cross coming and made a nice play to read it and get to the ball and punch it clear to deny even the attempt at goal. That clearance intercepted by the Badgers. Maybe something here. Outside, he's worked into the box. One-on-one with the keeper, fires, blocked. Defender gets back to it. The rebound, the shot, and a goal! The Badgers have pulled one back. The shoe's on the other foot. They make Inter pay for a mistake and a clinical finish to the back post, and the Badgers are back in it. They had not been playing at the level they needed to be playing to launch a comeback. But one of the best things you can do when you are not playing your best is force your opponent into a mistake to give yourself a better look. And that's exactly what the Badgers have done. They've put the pressure on in the attacking half, won the ball back, and now they've pulled a goal back. It's 2-1. And a game that felt like it was kind of winding down, now all of a sudden has a lot more in it. Ball in the midfield for the Badgers. Here they come on the outside. They're going to stop. Try to work the ball back around, maybe try a different path to get the ball forward. Working it outside. There's a runner into the space maybe. Oh, that's a good piece of defensive quality. I believe that's Zimmerman in on the tackle. There was a through ball waiting to be made down the right wing that would have opened up an opportunity for a cross. But the defender got there first and put it out. 73rd minute. All of a sudden, so much more intrigue than there was a moment ago. Inter Detroit fell asleep at the wheel for just the briefest of moments, but it's cost them a goal. And now Detroit Badgers right back in the game where they had been outplayed for the first hour plus. But that's how this game works. It's not necessarily about who's playing the best. It's about who puts the ball in the back of the net, no matter how that happens. The Badgers did well to force a mistake, and they cashed in on that mistake, and a foul given there in the center circle. Free kick thumped on ahead, and a whistle, and I believe Castro's offside. Inter back in possession. Ball is lost in the middle. Here come Badgers, and that's a heavy, heavy challenge. And an easy yellow card for the official. I believe that is Jop, who got cut down there. I believe it's Bovey on the challenge. Not a good challenge at all. Missed the ball completely and just flipped the attacker over onto his head. And now maybe something here for the Detroit Badgers. A chance at a free kick. A good distance to flight it in, maybe try to get a header on goal. Here we go. 75th minute, looking for an equalizer. Ball is floated in. That's a good ball in. Headed up in the air, trying to center it. Knocked down at the top of the box, trying to settle it, get a shot off. Attacker gets knocked down on the outside of the box. He's looking for the foul, but he was never going to get that call. The ball's well left there by Castro, and was expecting someone to run into the space, and no one did. But the Badgers are probing here. Put a good ball into the mixer off the free kick and almost gave themselves a chance to equalize. The final quarter hour beckons. And we've got a game on our hands here, and the Badgers are playing with a renewed urgency, renewed energy. That ball grounded across the face and easily dealt with. Sent along the far lines. Headed outside. Inter Detroit pick it up. Combination play on the outside, intercepted. On the ground through the gaps. Badgers trying to keep it in play. Last touch by Inter Detroit. Sub coming in for Inter Detroit. Family Crown Dentistry offers complete dental care in Dearborn. A family-owned office that cares about their patients, Family Crown Dentistry has specialists to meet your needs and accepts walk-in and emergency dental care. Put your best smile forward by calling Family Crown Dentistry at 313-581-7979 or find them online at familycrowndentistry.com. Again, 313-581-7979, familycrowndentistry.com. I want to thank Olympian Mortgage and Family Crown Dentistry for sponsoring Detroit Badgers soccer here on the National Soccer Network, as that one is sent well out of play and bounds over the wall behind the goal. Throw in for Inter Detroit, 77th minute. Suddenly everything to play for here for Detroit Badgers. After looking pretty listless for a lot of this game, but a goal scored around the 70th minute has brought them back within one. Ball out for a throw for Inter Detroit as the rain wears on. And anyone who has ever played on wet turf knows that finding your footing can be a little tricky depending on the quality of the surface. Doesn't seem like we've had too many issues with that here at Star International, but as the field continues to collect more and more water, that's only going to become more and more of a challenge. That ball's put out for a throw near the corner flag for the Badgers. How much would an equalizer mean to the Badgers right here? Preparing for the long throw again. Sent in high. Headed back out where it came from. Ball is centered near the top of the box. A lot of traffic. That clearance is blocked and out for a goal kick. It looks like, I believe, Zimmerman, maybe Castro. It's going to get stretched out there, cramping a bit. Again, the temperature's dropping as the game goes on. Temperatures were in the mid-50s when we started, now in the upper 40s. Hasn't been raining particularly hard, but it's one of those gentle soaking rains for the last couple of hours. There were a few bursts earlier in the day. In the time that this game has been going on, it's been mostly that kind of annoying gentle soaking rain. Kind of an interesting weather pattern moving west, which you don't see a whole lot here in Michigan. Usually our weather comes wet, rain that's in Detroit now, eventually work it towards the Lansing area. But it doesn't. Radar. So we will be finishing this out in the rain. One way or another. Foul given. Referee's been quick on his whistle the whole game. It's felt that he's called it pretty evenly, but he has been very quick on his whistle. Ball through the gaps, trying to chase onto it is Pineda, but Da gets there first. 10 minutes left. Settling on the ball the Badgers in the attacking third, but it's cleared away once again. Offering high pressure Hatsios. That ball is just cleared away long, bounding in and headed back to Janis. And Janis not going to pick it up. I think he's concerned that he might not be allowed to, perhaps? No, he's actually just going to wait for the defender to come up to him so that he can pick up the ball as late as possible and try to kill some clock. There's a lot of time left for a time-wasting tactic if you're Inter. And I mean, every coach ever has said this so many times, but when you're winning a game down the stretch, you can't play to not lose. We'll see how aggressive Inter Detroit are. Ball on ahead. Defender gets to it first. Da did not come out to this one. Picked up by the attacker. Sent outside. Sliding challenge. Doesn't get there. Castro spinning it back around. Oh my goodness, an opportunity there for Inter Detroit. And I think everyone in the building, except for Nelvis Da himself, expected him to come out to that, as that cross goes right into him and he claims it. But he let the defender charge in and almost felt like the attacker didn't know what to do with himself. Ball flicked on outside Pineda, Inter Detroit, keeping the pressure on as they need to try to protect this 2-1 advantage. That cross from Pineda goes over everything and all the way through for a throw in on the other side. Still everything left to play for in the final 8 minutes. Thrown down the line, chested down, and put out for another throw. Badgers will not be in action again in the month of May in this league. Their next match will be at Liquid Football on June 7th. They don't have another home match until the 21st against Troy United. So they won't be back in this building for another 7 weeks or so. They would love to notch a result here in their home opener, especially given how disastrously it started. Whistle for offside. For Inter Detroit, a win today would be a very important step in the right direction for them after a difficult campaign a season ago. They're at home against Michigan Stars next weekend. The team that defeated Badgers last night 4-0. Long ball ahead and a tough challenge there. Referee gonna let it go as Inter get it clear. Trying to turn on it. Bovee sends it on. Long ball ahead down the wing on the far side for Badgers. And touched out by Skachilas. How much more do the Badgers have in them? Do they have something that can find an equalizer in these final 6 minutes or so? Much like the first half, probably not a whole lot of stoppage time. That went out for a throw. So what you see on the clock is likely what you get. And again, with the clock counting down, don't know what's going to happen when that clock hits 0. Not sure how they're going to try to time this here. As this second half winds down, that one thumped into the box. And once again, Janis will control it on the chest before falling on it. And there is some danger in that as well. Got to be at least a little mindful of the fact that there will be plenty of people who would absolutely love to take that ball away from you if you're Janis. But getting a few extra precious seconds off this clock might be worth the risk at this point if you're Inter Detroit. But you do still have to keep playing. It was a mistake that led to the goal that made this a match again. Badgers took advantage of it, turned defense into attack in the attacking third, and found their first goal about 15 minutes ago, as there's a coming together there and a free kick given for the Badgers. They're going to try to get this in relatively quickly. That's a nice move there. I believe this is Jop moving through the space. Long ball ahead. It's knocked up into the air. Headed straight up by Inter. Headed down to the back line. Touched through the space. Taken away by Inter. They're going to try to move in the other direction. That one's just sent on towards the goal, and Da will come out to it and pick it up. Not sure the why on that clearance in the attacking half of the field, but Da sends it back the other way. The other keeper, Janis, will come out to it and clear it away. Under 4 to go. No word on added time. We will be unlikely to get true word on added time, so we're just going to have to make an educated guess if and when the moment arrives. A long run down the wing on the far side. Believe this is Skocilis, cuts it back, spins on it. That's a nice move into the box. Leaves it off at the top, sends it in, and there's your winner. Hatsios, I believe, on the finish. Inter did what they had to do. They kept the pressure on. They continued to fight to create chances, and it finally pays out. They're up by 2 in the dying minutes. Despite a valiant second-half effort from the Badgers, looks like Inter's going to come out of this one with 3 points. The Badgers will be much happier with their second-half performance than their first half for sure. But unless they pull off something truly miraculous here down the stretch,
I know. I don't know how to make it go.
they're going to walk out of their first weekend with no points in the table. And a whistle given near the edge of the box, and he might have been in the box, and if he was, it's a penalty. I believe the referee has given a penalty to Detroit Badgers. So just when you thought that the curtains might be drawing, suddenly, maybe some life left for the Badgers. They have to put this away, though. 12-yard spot kick, and I believe this is Mustafa Al-Nakshali who will take it.
I knew there was something you had to hold.
The run-up. Scored! Badgers back within 1. The 89th minute penalty. Al-Nakshali runs into the goal. Gonna get the ball back to the center circle as quickly as possible. High drama here. Badgers will not go away. Inter Detroit have, on 2 different occasions now, had 2-goal leads in this second half. Probably felt pretty secure in them. But a second goal here for the Badgers has suddenly made this very interesting, and now the question of stoppage time becomes very important. There will doubtlessly be at least a couple minutes now. That ball all the way through, in the box on the near side, tees up, fires, blocked. Castro trying to make his mark. And maybe score what would have actually been a definitive winning goal for Inter. We're into the final minute of the 90. One would imagine, based on goals and stoppages that we've had, 2 minutes, maybe 3 of stoppage time. Gonna swing in the corner from the near side. Deep corner to the back of the box, goes all the way through. Badgers trying to get out there to it. It'll roll out for a Badgers throw-in. 15 seconds left before stoppage time.
I didn't do that.
The horn went off when the clock hit 0, but the referee is doing what we anticipated he would do. He's going to leave play continuing. He is the one in control of the clock. He is the one who will issue stoppage time. Ball in across. Knocked down. Badgers might have something here. Possession now. In space. Worked outside, it's behind the attacker and out for a throw. They might have been able to build something there, but it's out for a throw in. Possession goes back to Inter Detroit. Don't know how much more time the referee's going to let go here. Inter Detroit taking their time getting this back in. One would imagine, as I said before, at least 2 minutes, maybe 3. But again, they did not inform us directly of how much stoppage time there will be. That is all on the man in the yellow in the center of your picture. Badgers looking to take advantage of whatever seconds he gives them. Inter Detroit in possession. They work it back to the back. That one's high and out for a throw. Maybe one more push here from the Badgers as we enter the 2nd minute of stoppage time. Throw in down the line, headed back in. Out for a throw once more. Throw in down towards feet. Trying to work it down the line into some kind of space. In the corner, Inter on it. Multiple defenders there for the Badgers. Ball is cleared out. Another throw in advanced position. Maybe another chance for a long throw here. Try to get the ball into the box. Good things happen when you put it in the mixer. Here we go. They're going to throw it back to the top of the box. Knocked up in the air. Headed down by Inter. Touched along. Up in the air on the outside. It's going to bound out for another throw to Badgers. Throw down the line. A little more space this time. Flicked into the middle. Cleared away from the top of the box and headed out for yet another Badgers throw. We've played 2 minutes of stoppage time here. Referee going to let him play. Not long left in this one. Throw into the middle. Cleared back out to the top of the half here for the Badgers. They're going to recover it in the back. Maybe one more push. Here it comes through the middle. Headed along. Settled. Trying to turn on it. Sends it goalwards. Keeper saved it. An ambitious chance, one perhaps informed by the lack of time on the clock. Not the best look, but Janice was up to it. And there's your long whistle. Or is it? We heard a long whistle. Players haven't left, so... Oh no, yellow card has been given. Not sure what it was. We were in the replay. But a yellow card has been issued to, I'm pretty sure that's Bailly Morgay. It'll be a free kick. We've played 3 minutes of stoppage time. That one's sent high and clear from Inter Detroit. Badgers pick it up in the midfield. Free kick given away here. On the plus side of midfield for the Badgers. Sent high and in, and the referee has pulled it back. I think he's saying that the ball was still moving when it was struck, so ball has to be in a complete stop for a free kick. Which might work out better for Badgers anyway here, as they've got pretty much everybody up on that 18-yard line. The edge of the penalty box. About 50 yards from goal, they're going to try to send this one in and get something on frame. Sent in. Knocked away and out wide, and that is your game. The Badgers put a scare to Inter Detroit at the end. It was well fought. A good second half from them. They should be happy with the final 45. A good push. Created some opportunities. Did some good things. But in the end, the mistakes from the first half, too much to overcome. Inter Detroit will walk out 3-2 winners on the road. Badgers will be back in action a month from now. So plenty of time for them to think about this result and work on improving their position here in the Midwest Premier League. Definitely better feelings after today's game than yesterday, but still no points in the table through their first 2 games in their new league. From all of us here at the National Soccer Network, thank you so much for joining us. Our sponsors, Olympian Mortgage and Family Crown Dentistry, thank you so much to them. Once again, your final score, Inter Detroit 3, Detroit Badgers 2. I've been Colton Wesley. You've been watching Detroit Badgers FC Soccer on the National Soccer Network.